Going to go into game number 2. Should be a good one. Simply TOOBASED still looking to be the favorites in this game number 2, but it could go either way. As Byzantine definitely don't want to start their season 1 off with a 2-0 loss if they can avoid it. But Simply TOOBASED would love a 2-0 victory if they can get it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of, maybe just a bit of pressure here onto Byzantine Raiders after how that game 1 went. Of course, a lot more confidence coming out here from TOOBASED, I think, after you get a win like that. They don't have as many comfort heroes, but it should be interesting to see I Annihilate and the Kunkka down mid. And we'll see if they can counteract that explosive game that Byzantine Raiders looks to want to bring out here for game number 2.
There is once again the early potential for a first blood as well, right? You've got Zfreak there on the Marana. If he does land a nice arrow, it could set up for a very easy first blood. And for now, Light Shader is going to spot him out. With that will give enough information for Murderer to just sit back by the tier 1 and make sure he does not get caught out.
Let the countdown begin.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade here. I can't really see too much of a fight starting now that they do have that information, but Murderer is actually moving forward onto Zfreak. Not going to do too much to him.
10 players compete for ultimate.
Quick blood right out. Murderer going to get some easy damage off. Onto Monkeys forever, but that's really going to be it. Monkeys is going to basically passively regen up that lost health by the time they get into the laning phase anyway. He's not going to really be too bothered by this. And you look at the matchup as well, like this Batrider once again in that off lane up against Murderer and Light Shader. He's going to have the help of Zfreak, but you can imagine Zfreak is probably going to leave the lane pretty early on. There's not really a reason for him to stick around if he doesn't need to. I imagine Monkey should be able to just dominate the lane again.
Well, what did you expect?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Zfreak just clearing out the range creep here, getting solid time in terms of getting EXP. The one thing that you do have running here for Byzantine Raiders is that you do have a lot of sustain. Once you get a level up in Thirst and once you get a level up in the Soul Rip for Light Shader, it should be harder to find those kills. But Zfreak's not going to be giving them too much space there. He's just going to try to get the pull off while blocking that camp and just get some EXP going on the Marana, as we tend to see. So they're going to be splitting up that EXP, and it's not going to be too fun for Light Shaders. He does have to move up to punish this.
That he does. Zfreak, does he at least split the wave? It looks like he will, but he wanted a couple more than that. He's going to get the range creep denied off, or rather not. Light Shader is still going to be able to secure it in Zfreak. He wanted to get about 2 to 3 of the creeps of that wave that was running past from the Radiant side. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he did slightly mistime it.
What did you expect?
And now Light Shader is going to get quite a bit of value out of this. He's going to try and set up for the deny on that range creep in Zfreak. While he is still going to be able to get that level 2 very, very soon, he's going to have his range creep denied, and he's probably going to be fairly unhappy about that. And now Monkeys might be in a bit of a troublesome spot. The Blood Right is not going to land, but he has to juke himself out in the tree line. Looks like Zfreak is going to take care of the creep wave while Monkeys is just chilling out and waiting for the right moment to come back into the laning phase. Still with that, we'll have a look at the other lanes while we still have a chance. In the mid lane, you do have Alien Mana Banana there on the Zeus. He'll be up against the Kunkka being played by I Annihilate. So far, it's been a very good start for this Zeus, John, sitting at 13-5 in comparison to the 8-1 of I Annihilate.
Yeah, it's been a slower start for I Annihilate. Of course, he can play with a Tidebringer, but Alien Man Banana has been playing with his Arc Lightning spam really well, just trying to punish I Annihilate for closing the gap too much, and he looks to be sidestepping these Tidebringers fairly well as well. So a slower start for I Annihilate this game. Alien Man Banana should be able to use this initial farm lead quite well. He's got his bottle on hand, so he's going to want to secure those early power runes as well. We'll see if the sports can get that done, but I Annihilate's not doing too bad. Like, the farm's not there, but the EXP still steadily flowing. As long as he hits his level 6 spike at the same time, should be set up well. We'll see if the supports can get some space out. Looks like Zfreak is just kind of keeping eyes down here in the jungle. not going to be getting too much done. They do have the X arrow combo down the line, so you will have to watch that spike once it's up, but fairly early to invest even more in that X mark early on.
Well, they may have found Z-Freak now, but they won't have a way to lock him down unless this Blood Right could connect, but no, the leap is going to be there. Z-Freak is going to be just fine on this Mirana. Of course, the final lane we haven't really mentioned yet, the bot lane where Frugos is there on the Shaman. He'll make a rotation for that 4-minute power rune now as Cube. He's going to be left alone on the LC. He's going to be up against Boris and Empyrean. Looks like this lane has been going pretty alright for Cube on this LC. He doesn't appear to be struggling too much for CS. That being said, he's not really able to slow down Boris too much on the Wraith King either. In fact, now they're going to make a bit of a jump in here onto Cube, but he's going to be just fine. In fact, Boris is the one to take much more damage. Eventually, both of them will just salve up and walk away.
Yeah, just you are seeing a better start here for Byzantine Raiders in their lanes. They're finding a little bit more farm. They're holding control. You're not seeing Boris get a free run this time on the Wraith King. Cube is having a lot more early presence here, and you can see Boris, every single time he comes up for those last hits, gets punished really hard. So Cube's just working this lane really well, and that's with Frugos just spending more time outside of the lane rather than in it. You do have this level 3 spike, though. Oh.
The Murderer, he's in big trouble. The Firefly is going to be chased down here by Monkeys Forever, and Murderer, I don't believe he has a way out. He is going to be first blooded here by Monkeys Forever, and now Light Shader. There's too many sticky napalm stacks. He is going to also go down to Monkeys Forever. Going to be able to pick up a double kill to get his game number 2 started. And this is why you didn't want to see this Batrider being allowed to be picked up again by TOOBASED, but well, there you go, Monkeys. A double kill.
Yeah, just a really good start again for the side of TOOBASED. They might not be finding as much farm, but they are finding those kills again in the top lane. Murderer is going to be capped behind just a bit more than he'd like to, and this is a bit of an issue. The Bloodseeker does not want to play from behind. We talked about the timings Byzantine Raiders has to meet, and that does rely on Murderer being ready to go once he hits level 6. So we'll see if the side of Byzantine Raiders can relieve some of that pressure here.
Empyrean does end up going down thanks to the Zeus ulti, and now they'll try to go onto Boris, and Boris will also die just prior to that level 6 mark. In fact, Boris is currently at level 4, so he's fallen quite a bit behind here. It's going to be 2 kills going to the way of Byzantine Raiders. It's going to be a very nice feeling out for this dire side. They try to go for the 6-minute power rune, but they get very unlucky. Annihilate going to be able to secure that power rune down at the bot lane, and well, speaking of Annihilate, John, he has really caught up in CS. 44-1 now, just ahead of the Zeus's top lane. Once again, Monkeys Forever, same thing, just the sticky napalm and Firefly, just burning him down.
That's all it takes to
Yeah,
kill
there's not much you can do as a Bloodseeker when you're being dived like that. There's a big spike coming out here on Monkeys. These set of kills should lead him to a fairly good timing on his travels. We'll see if he just focuses on jungle. It looks like that is going to be the play. It is a back and forth here for both teams this time. Both pause ones not having the best of starts. This does hurt our Bloodseeker a little bit more in terms of timings, but Boris is actually held way far behind. You pointed him out, still at level 4. For Byzantine Raiders, they need to maximize that. Maybe playing with the burst damage they have on hand with Zeus. So every single time they bought Thunder Gods, they have to look for that kill.
Well, this around here onto Cube. He's going to get stunned up with an arrow follow-up, but the arrow does not land in time. And that might just mean that Cube is going to be alright. They do get the rotation forced out by Light Shader, but he won't mind too much. Z-Freak just going to back off back towards that mid lane. It seems like they are prioritizing trying to shut down this LC a little bit. It's not working out thus far, though. Alien Man of Banana now, just going to start taking some stacks away for himself on that Zeus. He's going to find himself at the top of the net worth board. Feeling very, very happy on that Zeus thus far.
Oh, hello.
Hello, John.
Okay, looks like I was having some connection issues towards the voice server. I was wondering why I was talking to myself for a bit. Did I miss anything, Mike? Or
Not really.
we,
Well, you might now. Frugos, he does get a Hex off, but I Annihilate has an X and the boat flying in. The boat actually barely lands to cancel off the shackles. With Frugos, he's a man on the run, but he cannot run away. Not from Monkeys Forever on that Batrider. And they just might keep going for more. They'll go after the Tombstone first. It's going to be given over to the Batrider once again. And with that Tombstone gold coming in, Monkeys Forever is going to find himself on the top of the net worth board.
Yeah, that's his travels done at, what, 8.5 minutes once more for Monkeys Forever. So another quick timing coming out on our Batrider. We just need to see how fast he'll get his blink. And we've seen TOOBASED really play around that timing on Monkeys. So pretty good start so far for TOOBASED. They only have a 1k lead though. Byzantine Raiders this time around managed to split their farm up rather well. They're getting some space out. They are keeping up with Alien Man Banana and his Zeus, but there is still some farming issues here for Murderer and Cube. Like, Murderer might be ahead of Boris, but it's not by much, and he is starting to lag behind Monkeys and I Annihilate. So they need to keep buying that space out for Murderer. Is going to be rushing his phase boots into the Maelstrom next.
Light Shader top lane. There's that Firefly out once again, and he tries to heal himself up, but it's just so much damage from this Batrider. No lasso necessary. He'll clean up the creep wave and start pushing down that tier 1 top tower. Looks like TOOBASED are finally getting warmed up here in this game number 2, as they are sitting at a 5-2 now with a 2k net worth lead. Rupture is there by Murderer, but Z-Freak, he's literally just going to TP away, and now Monkeys Forever might just go for a lasso attempt. He doesn't have Firefly yet, but he does have it in a few seconds, and a great Flame Break is going to knock back Murderer. Monkeys, he does commit, and with the lasso, he gets the kill, but he is going to be jeweled up, and all that gold does go to the way of Cube. On that LC, still, it seems to be a matter of Monkeys believing that that was still very worthwhile, and I'd say for a position 3 Batrider to kill off a position 1 Bloodseeker, you're not going to be too unhappy about that if you are Monkeys Forever.
No, definitely not. I mean, he does bleed a lot more gold towards the way of Byzantine Raiders. Gives Cube his first dual win as well, so highly efficient rotation for Cube. But you're keeping this Bloodseeker down, and again, the timings of the Bloodseeker is just way more sensitive. You can see right now, Boris is just very comfy to play in the jungle. He is going for the Radiance Rush, so it's going to be a bit longer until your Raid King's ready to go, whereas there is some pressure here for Murderers to be ready to up and run and start to take these fights early on.
Bot lane, they're in big trouble. Again, Frugos, he's going to try and TP out. Will he make it in time? No. Monkeys Forever does manage to get another kill on this Batrider. With that Firefly, he wanted to chase down this Legion Commander. He will not be able to keep up. Nevertheless, he's more than happy with another kill under his belt. 7-1 now on this Batrider. Byzantine Raiders, they're kind of falling into that same position they were in last game, John. They're all huddled up near the dire triangle. Whereas you look at the side of TOOBASED, they're all across the map, getting a lot more farm going on their end of things. And if this keeps up, if this kind of map control is always going to be there from TOOBASED, they're naturally going to keep increasing the net worth lead they already have.
That they are. And you can see I Annihilate just being very confident in that top jungle as well. Just playing tag with Alien Man Banana. And there's not much punishment they can do for a Kunkka going out to farm here, which goes back to that issue we talked about in draft. Like, this is such a tanky lineup. They've got good magic damage with Zeus, but it doesn't feel like enough if it's only the Zeus. They need to drag everyone in, and they don't really want to show their Bloodseeker out at the current state Murderer is in.
Got that armlet up on the Kunkka now, but it looks like Byzantine Raiders are going to be the ones to go for a quick smoke. This could be really bad timing, though, as they have the boat up. They have the lasso up as well. They're going to try and go onto Z-Freak, but he'll just leap out of there. They'll continue trying onto Monkeys Forever. They'll get the jewel and the surfboards. That'll be one going down, but I Annihilate now sends out the boat. It is not going to be enough to save his teammates, however. He's just going to try and make a run for it. It's a lot of damage out onto Cube, but is it going to be enough? Probably not. He'll turn back around. In fact, he'll get the kill before he does go down, but it is still going to be a very nice set of trades coming up for Byzantine Raiders. They do get a 3-for-1. In fact, Z-Freak, he's still hanging around here. Does have one leap charge for now, and it looks like he is not going to get spotted out. Still a great smoke out from this Dire's side. But it looks like this team fight may just be restarting all over again. It's now Monkeys. He still has that lasso. He wants to keep going, but he does get hexed up into the blood right. They're still trying for this chase. Freak wants to land an arrow, and oh, he lands it perfectly. They walk straight into it, but now the Shackles is out. Flesh Golem is there as well. Another Jewel is there from our LC and Cube. He's going to get the kill again. Freak, he does kill off Light Shader, but it's not worth the Bat Rider's life. It's just not worth it.
No, they still are going, but the defense is ready for him too, base. It looks like they don't want to trade tier 1s, just want to keep forcing these fights out.
Oh, Frugos X'd up into the torrent. The Bloodrite is going to be there. The heals as well. Frugos still alive, gets the Hex off in time, and now the Shackles as well. He's caught out Z-Freak. The boat is going to fly in. Frugos, he does finally die. In fact, the boat, it does land onto Murderer. So Murderer is also going to go down, and it looked like a decent start there for Byzantine Raiders, but it just doesn't pan out. In fact, mid lane, now Monkeys is there with Boris onto Alien Mana Banana, and he's going to die as well.
Mortals have this phrase.
It's not what you want to see.
It's an awkward spot. It's very awkward for Byzantine Raiders. It's like they won a couple of engages there. They did get a positive trade early on, but the fact that they're sacrificing their core and just there's no stopping simply TOOBASED. Like they're just constantly on the go. They have no big ults to wait for. Boat's cooldown is relatively low. You can see again Byzantine Raiders clumping bot. Every single time they do this, this is just free space for a very vulnerable Raid King. They're just not able to keep him in check. So he gets farm up, and they're not finding the objective yet as well.
Well, they need that tier 1 tower, and they're going to try with the wards being dropped, and now the lasso is out once again. Monkeys forever setting up a kill. Onto Frogos they go, and Frugos, he's going to die, and Monkeys, he's not done yet. He wants Light Shader, and Light Shader, well, he just can't run away from this Bat Rider. In fact, they'll even try for Murderer now, and Murderer, he is walking quite slowly. He'll try to turn around for a Rupture Blood Right, but the boat is going to nail him right in the face. And TOOBASED getting a 4-for-0 trade. And while all that was happening, John Boris, he gets a free tier 1 tower in the mid lane. It's just really great play out from TOOBASED.
It definitely is. This timing on Monkeys again, that 8.5-minute travel. It's the blink coming out here at the, I think, around the 15, maybe 14.5-minute mark. Really giving them options to start fighting here. Boris, he took that mid tier 1, as you mentioned. He already has a Sacred Relic. So we're looking at Radiance in about maybe 16.5 minutes at the latest. Gonna be a really good timing for him. And once you have that Radiance, you're just ready to stand there, fight, and burn enemies down.
Moonlight Shadow. It's gonna be out, but they were spotted.
Bottom tower is under attack.
See the confidence though from TOOBASED in that mid lane. Even without those big ultimates up, they still seem to be wanting to go for a big fight. This is all creating space for Boris, who is still freely farming up on that Wraith King, and it's like you just mentioned, that Radiance is not going to be too far away now. Arrow, going to land on Alien Mana Banana. Do at least have the Blink Decker coming out on Cube on that LC now, as well as the Yule Scepter on our Zeus. So with that Blink and Yule Scepter up, they might go for a big smoke play. I'd say this is probably the time to go if you are going to go for Byzantine Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be an awkward timing. The Radiance is flying out here for Boris. So I think he bought the recipe at 16:20, slightly earlier than my prediction. It looks like Byzantine Raiders will get space to take that bot tier 1, but their top tier 2 is going to be shoved in. And this is the beauty of the Raid King. You can farm up, you can summon the skeletons, and you can get your own push going. Makes it harder to really trade favorably alone.
They'll go for a duel, but the lasso is going to be straight out, and they have the reincarnation anyway. This duel is not going to work in their favor. Cube, he's going to die onto the Undying Light Shader. He's also gone. And I Annihilate, he got an X off onto the Zeus, but the Yules is going to save the day for Alien. That was a very, very optimistic attempt when you've got the Reincarnate still available on Boris. It seemed like a bit of a panic play, if I'm honest, John.
Yeah, it looked more like they weren't aware that the Radiance was up. They might have just TP'd up without maybe checking the items, underestimating just how much Boris had in hand. They also didn't expect the rest of the team standing behind. They don't have vision in the jungle. That's causing some issues for Byzantine Raiders, but the control coming out from TOOBASED is just great. They know where to play, they know where they've got vision on the map, they're using that to their advantage. They did lose their tier 1 bot, but when you take a tier 2 for it with a couple of kills, you're always going to be happy. And TOOBASED now 11k up early on.
Oh, nice duel out there. They caught Monkeys Forever this time around, but they don't have the damage output. They'll finally get the kill thanks to the Zeus Lightning Bolt. But now can they take the fight? They've still got to fight into this Wraith King. And Light Shader looks like he is going to be the first victim here on this Undying. As Boris does harvest the bones of the Undying. It's kind of sad when you consider the fact that Undying's already kind of dead. He's just going to die again.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. That does give space here for TOOBASED to go into the rush. They're going to rush right into it. They've got the DD on Annihilate. They know that the Thunder Gods was expended. They know that the Rupture was expended as well, so it's going to be a bit longer until those spells are up. Ample enough time to clear out this rush. The scan is there on Byzantine Raiders, but they just don't have the angle. They don't have the vision to come in, and without those ults, it's going to be harder to contest here.
That it will be. Monkeys, top lane, he just goes straight in for the lasso. And the Roshan's going on. Frugos, he was trying to get a push out at that top lane, but he is dying to the Firefly. He is still ticking out, and he is eventually going to die. Fun fact, John, Dragon Scale works with Sticky Napalm. So
Yep.
Monkeys Forever, he's getting every item he could ask for.
Yeah, the only thing that would tie it in is if he gets like a cloak of flames down the line, and that also triggers off of Sticky Napalm. So a lot of value if you do pick that up on the Batrider. A lot of people seem to undervalue it. I think I get like one friend of mine keeps ranting to me, but simply TOOBASED again. They find that free kill. They've got the Aegis. They're looking down mid and they're going in.
And Monkeys is there with a nice flame break, but the Yules is going to be out from Alien just in the nick of time. Cube is going to look for a bit of a rotation here with the Blink. Boris just going to TP straight back down to the bot lane and keep farming up on that Wraith King. Byzantine Raiders take it easy for now, but Monkeys, he was spotted for a second. Does manage to blink away in time. What do you do here for your Byzantine Raiders? Like, is it a smoke attempt they need?
Gold for my
I'd say a smoke attempt out, getting some more dual wins on Cube, playing with the global presence you do have with Thunder Gods is how they should be playing. Like, that's what they were doing earlier. That's how they were finding kills. If they can keep playing to that tempo, I think it can line up really well. We also have to see Blood Rage plus Thunder Gods Rat, if it can come out. But there is a smoke, so they are going to look for that pick-off. The issue is, TOOBASED are sticking together rather well.
Here we go again. Monkeys Forever with the X-Pack on Alien. Wants to go for a big play here, but Cube is going to jump in with the... Oh, no, he's jeweled the illusion. It won't matter anyway. Monkeys is very, very low, however. Seafreak goes down. They'll find a second kill. And even though that was a pretty bad start, they do still get a 2-for-0 trade for Byzantine Raiders. I'd say, if anything, you're just going to be happy about that for this dire side. Forcing TOOBASED back a little bit as well, just kind of buying them some more time to get some farm up on Murderer, who's been struggling quite a bit when it comes to net worth.
Yeah, it's been a slower start for him in the Bloodseeker. Wasn't a great time in lane, just not a fun lane to play against when you give Monkeys Forever that Batrider. He is still saving up for his BKB, so once you have that in Murderer, he can stand in front a little bit better. But Byzantine Raiders, for their part, they did pop the Thunder Gods there to find those 2 kills. So that's something TOOBASED should know. Gives them maybe an opportunity to clump up themselves, start to force a fight, knowing that big damage spell right now for Byzantine Raiders isn't available. And they might look to make a play, but again, it's that same timing from TOOBASED. They just sit back, they farm up. Boris is just holding on, trying to build up, saving up for a Hyperstone, just to get more right-click off. And he's just so confident to walk into the triangle by himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Aegis Reincarnate, John. He's got 3 lives available right now. Light Shader, he's stuck around. He's going to die. And now a great lasso out from that Batrider. Press the attack is going to save the day, but it's not going to be for long as Alien Mana Banana is going to die in Monkeys. He's looking for another. He wants Cube. Gets the Yules off. Has the Flame Break and will knock him back. But they don't have any more lockdown. In fact, now Frugos comes in for a quick Hex out. But the Moonlight Shadow is going to be there from Z-Freak. That'll be enough. TOOBASED getting some very important kills and just backing out. Into that mid-tier 2 tower they go.
Yeah, gotta love these small plays coming out from Imperium in this game. He had the Force Staff. He used it to plonk Boris right in front to find that kill. Just always, always finding these small opportunities to give Boris more to play with. They will manage to take that tier 2 mid as well. So one outer tower left here for the side of Byzantine Raiders. They still have a lot of magical damage that can fly through. When they do get the respawn under Zeus, they will have Thunder Gods up. So it's going to be another opportunity for Byzantine Raiders to play. And with a Zeus, at the least, you have some really good D-push on the high ground. So you have some stalling, some high ground defense as well with your Zeus Bloodseeker on hand here for Byzantine Raiders.
It's going to be that bot tier 1 tower now dropping into the tier 2 tower with the skeletons out from Boris. It's not going to take very long. I Annihilate, meanwhile, he's very, very close now to having a full Daedalus up. That's going to be a lot of damage along with the Tidebringer. Byzantine Raiders, they've got to make something happen from this high ground defense. It's going to be very tough though. 16k net worth lead is not going to be easy to come back from. You've got to kind of hope that TOOBASED make a mistake here, but they do not. They back off, the Aegis does expire, they timed it perfectly. That'll be enough for them.
Yeah, just it's that same timing for TOOBASED. They go back, they reset, they know they don't have to, they're not under pressure to actually make a play here. It's Byzantine Raiders that need to make something happen. You can see them smoke up again. They've got all their spells up. They could go for a kill.
They're going to try, but who do they find? They do end up getting the Keeper of the Light, so that's going to be the position 5 of TOOBASED going down. Of course, they wanted a bit more for a 5-man smoke rotation. They are not really going to get it. I don't really think that TOOBASED is going to be too slowed down by this Coddle going down. I think they'll just be just fine with that.
Yeah, there's no worries here, and Boris is just farming the opposite side, jumps in.
Yeah, forced to use the BKB up, now goes for the Rupture on Monkeys. That was his 10-second charge being committed. Not a great feeling for the Bloodseekers now. Bot lane, they do end up catching out the Mirana, so Z-Freak being spotted there by Frugos with a great Tinker Ward being placed. Does cancel off the TP of the Mirana.
Bounty.
And with that, they are going to buy themselves some more space and time.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of kills coming out for Byzantine Raiders. It's not the biggest targets, but you'll take what you can get. You still are looking at a 16k deficit, so TOOBASED still in the lead, still in the driver's seat here. They're going to hit some good item timings as well. Empyrean is saving up for his Ags upgrade. That is going to give the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to be a huge spike in these team fights if Empyrean's allowed to save up like this. So Byzantine Raiders needs to be aware. They've got to keep an eye out on the supports now, maybe start to really keep that pressure going as much as they can. They are down their teamfight spells though, so Thunder Gods is down for about half a minute more. The Ags is almost done for Alien Mana Banana. That's going to be a huge help once you've got that Nimbus up. It's just about 600 gold off, so if they can hold out, maybe get a little bit more space, perhaps in your triangle, get that farm going, you're going to have even more ways to maintain that global presence here on your Zeus.
You will. Still, they remain very grouped up at this top, or rather bot lane. Oh, double smoke there from TOOBASED. Slight misclick there, I'm sure. Won't matter though, they just want to go for a big team fight right now. They are on the wrong side of the map though if they are hoping for a smoke, and a great Thunder God's Wrath is going to scout them out. I Annihilate won't waste any more time with that smoke. Just get back to pushing out the top lane. Alien needs to be slightly careful in that mid lane though, as Monkeys is around the Batrider. They did spawn out some wards here and they'll take care of those. They seem to know exactly where Byzantine Raiders are. It's a matter of how they make their way there. They might just wait on the high ground for the side of Byzantine to make their way back to their triangle.
Yeah, they are holding out long enough here in the Byzantine Raiders that the Ags is up on Alien Man Banana. So Nimbus is in play. They can shove out these waves from a safe distance now, and they can take some good team fights if they find the angles. They're is a BKB up already on Boris, though, but the rest of the heroes are still fairly squishy and manageable with the burst damage you do have on hand, so you do have some opportunities once more for Byzantine Raiders, and looks like they will go for a smoke play and just try to make something happen now.
Well, they need some space to farm. I mean, the net worth lead continues to climb for TOOBASED. That's going to be a very big problem if it continues. Moonlight Shadow is out. Byzantine Raiders still hanging out on the high ground. Arrows just keeping vision on what they're up to. Next big team fight could be in this mid lane as they do spot out Z-Freak, just farming the creep wave. But they are moving away from TOOBASED, so not really wanting to commit to a team fight yet. They'll take their triangle back, but now the arrow is going to fly in and give vision, and now Boris wants to go for a big stun up. Murderer, he did not get the BKB off in time. He could be in danger. He's trying to make a run for it. Press the attack is there. He finally BKBs, but Boris, he is all right-click damage, but he can't quite finish him off. Still, they continue. The shackles, the jewel is out. They have bound out the Kunkka. Annihilate is going to go down, and maybe now they can turn back around onto Boris. Or maybe not. Boris is going to be able to walk his way out. Annihilate is going to be the one to die. I'm kind of shocked that that Murderer did not go down to Boris there, but the Soul Rip plus the press the attack was there just in the nick of time to keep him up and healthy. I'm sure they'll be very, very satisfied with that pick off onto the Kunkka.
Yeah, it's a really big kill to come out. Oh, they also don't have to worry about the boat in this next fight, so they're going to use this opportunity again to look for a pick off here with a smoke.
Try. Rupture is available, but Z-Freak does break the smoke. Still, he'll tank the gank for the team. Looks like he is set to fall. Another nice little pick up there for Byzantine Raiders. Is pretty much any kill right now is a good kill. It's going to open up the map a little bit more for them. Got a lot of catching up to do, though. I mean, your position 1 Bloodseeker is about 5k behind Boris on the Wraith King.
Yeah, it's still a pretty dire situation here for the Byzantine Raiders. 16k behind, have a lot of catching up to do. The Roche is up though, although Frugos.
Yeah. I believe he got the bounty rune for his trouble anyway, so at this stage of the game, you know, these bounty runes are quite valuable. You may as well just kind of sacrifice your life if you can as a support to pick it up. Problem is, though, the Roshan's up.
Yeah, that's going to be a bigger one. You'd want your Shadow Shaman here with perhaps the Hex and Wards. Going to be a little bit no buyback available. Of course, this does still melt really well. I mean, you don't even have Boris in, and now he's in. So the Roche is not going to stand for long. That is going to be Aegis and Cheese coming out here. So again, a lot more for the Byzantine Raiders to have to eat through. They're going to have to be ready for this, as they're not even set up to really contest, and they know they're just going to pull back and get some farm while they can.
Well, Thunder God's Wrath is there, but it's just way too late. Even if they knew, I don't think they would have made the play for that Roshan. Now, the high ground is definitely going to be attempted by TOOBASED. It's just a matter of when. Pretty intriguing they gave the cheese away to Boris and Annihilate got the Aegis, but I suppose they're quite confident that Boris is probably not going to die anyway, even without the Aegis and just having the Reincarnate available for himself.
Yeah, we haven't seen Boris die beyond that one laning death, so I can't even recall how many times he's popped Reincarnation. It feels like it's been a while since he's been put on that spot. You are seeing some progression come out here for Byzantine Raiders. So BKB now up on Cube, so he is less liable to control, although the combo is there.
They are moving in. Monkeys Forever does connect with the Flame Break once again, but Light Shader going to be popping that Flesh Golem. Murderer is going to be X back. They want that Bloodseeker dead. He does BKB up, but Boris continues moving forward. Still a nice Shackles out, holding him down. They might be able to get through the 1 life, and they do. Frugos, however, this may cost him his life. Still, the jewel is going to be there. Onto Z-Freak. They want to try and trade this one out. Z-Freak does get low and does end up going down, but now the lasso is there. Monkeys Forever does trade. So far, it's a decent team fight out for TOOBASED. But it may not be quite enough for them to commit to the high ground attempt. And it looks like that is going to be the case. They'll get back to farming. I think that is just fine as well. So, once again, they just control the map themselves. However, Frugos does jump in, gets the Hex off into the Serp wards, and now the Shackles, and Monkeys forever. He doesn't really want to die like this to a Shaman, but he doesn't really have the choice. Murderer, going to be the one to pick up the kill with the Blood Right.
That's all it takes to kill you.
It's a solid pickup. They did buy back on Frugos, so just getting that kill kind of compensates for that buyback at least here for our Shadow Shaman. Byzantine Raiders still hanging on. 26-16, 20k lead still running for TOOBASED. They still hold on to the Aegis Cheese. Aegis is going to be up for about 2.5 minutes more as well, so some more time here for TOOBASED to work that advantage they do had. Byzantine Raiders just, again, using this time to farm up. We are seeing the effects of the healing coming out. I mean, Light Shader has his Holy Locket up, so those Soul Rips have been really helping to keep Murder alive in the front, and they have been really working the magic damage quite well. They do have to worry about the Ags pickup here on Empyrean, so it's been long enough that we have the Will-O-Wisp in play for our Kotl, and that's just going to be additional crowd control coming out once the BKB start to fade away.
Absolutely. Moonlight Shadow going to be popped there by Z-Freak as he was just trying to avoid the duel attempt that was coming in from our Legion Commander. Now still just kind of occupying that Dire jungle and the mid lane. Look at Byzantine Raiders smoked up down to the bot lane, trying to hope somebody comes in to claim that bottom creep wave, but it hasn't been the case thus far. Move back in, they'll see some couriers flying past.
Middle tower is under attack.
Desperately need a big team fight to go their way. They do pop the ulti of the Zeus as well, but it looks like the smoke is going to wear off and they will not commit. It's very, very hard, right? Like, Byzantine Raiders, they're trying to find an opening that suits them, gives them the advantage, but there does appear to be quite a lot of hesitation to try and make sure they get the perfect kind of team fight. No, they haven't found it quite yet.
Yeah, they're just not able to. TOOBASED has a lot of good read on how the map's going. They do spot this movement out with a ward, and they might look to play here.
Well, they go on to Z-Freak with the Rupture, but Boris is there, straight onto that Shaman. They want Frugos dead. They don't want these disables around. Frugos, he's going to die with the gem on the deck. Now the lasso's out. They found the LC with the stun there from Boris, but the heals come in from Light Shader. It's going to be enough for Cube to try and run away, but Boris, he gets the bash! He bashes off the Force Staff. Now Light Shader, he's been left behind. He is a very, very shiny boy, but he is eventually just going to go down. And with that, with no buybacks available on all three of those heroes that went down for Byzantine Raiders, that may be high ground for TOOBASED.
Alright, it should be the opportunity. The Aegis does expire though, so there might be some hesitation coming out here, but they do have the advantage on hand. They still have the cheese on Boris as well in the backpack, so they've got at least a pseudo second life here in play. Gonna be a hard time for just the Bloodseeker and the Zeus to hold us off, but they can shove the wave back really well from a safe distance. So there is that for TOOBASED to be aware of as well, though.
Forever. Yule's setup is there. Flame Break not going to connect. The Yule's was out from the Zeus, but they have the Blinding Light. It's well worth the committal. There is a buyback available on Alien Mana Banana, but it's, well, he's going to have to commit it. There's not really too much of a choice in the matter. He might just wait it out a little bit, and there you go. He does commit now, with the ultimate being committed straight away. Now the duel is out. Onto Monkeys Forever, into the Blood Ride. They will get the Bat Rider. Empyrean going to be targeted next up by this Bloodseeker, who does pop the BKB, but Boris is in the tire base, cleaning up Frugos. Now the buyback is there from Monkeys. They do get Empyrean, but Boris, he's going to have his way with this Bloodseeker if he's not too careful. Cube in danger. Light Shader, he'll be the one to die on the Undying. Looks like overall, they do get a buyback out from the Bat Rider and the Keeper of the Light. So it's not too bad for Byzantine Raiders, excuse me, but you did have to commit the buyback there from your Zeus as well. TOOBASED, they might just keep going here. In fact, they do. Yule's going to be out onto this Zeus. Annihilate is there with the BKB pop ready to go. And that blinding light is going to ensure the dieback is there. Boris now sitting on a godlike streak on this Wraith King. Lasso perfect again from Monkeys Forever onto the LC. They'll just have their way with him. A massive crit coming out from Boris. Cube will bite back. Abyssal Blade now going to be completed on Annihilate. Just coming out on the Courier. Murderer going to try his best to defend, but the stun is going to be there from Boris. Still, they do at least get their Hex off, but a great torrent there from Annihilate into the Tidebringer hit. The arrow not going to land on Frugos. Meanwhile, Murderer trying to go into the backlines, but he is all alone right now. They do get the first life of the Wraith King, but Boris, he's back to Tango. Looks like they do not want to keep fighting. Wait it out a bit, try to get a reset going for Byzantine Raiders before they start another team fight. But it may be too late. The secondary Rax is set to fall, and it does. Frugos, however, he's going to jump in with a Hex out. The Bloodrite is there as well, but Boris, he's got Reincarnate back up in 10 seconds. So, he's not too worried, John. He's going to be fine.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely fine. You've got the Abyssal and the Overwhelming Blink flying out now for Boris as well. So he's going to be really set to be in the front. Just waiting for the Reaver on his Blink, but the Abyssal low and solid are going to be enough for Boris to just get control even more. Last set of racks here for Byzantine Raiders, and without their Zeus, it's just a lot harder to defend this.
Oh, Monkeys again setting up with that Yule Sept onto Light Shadow as Annihilate just jumps straight into the back lines, holding everyone else back. Cube, he tried to go in for a big duel. It's not going to work out well. Well, Boris, he just goes in towards the fountain, gets one, onto Light Shader now they go. This Undying just cannot sustain the damage output as Murderer, he's trying to fight back, but how do you fight back up against the Wraith King? He's going to try, he gets one life, and he will barely survive with his own life intact. But they get Megaed. They do have a lineup that can defend Megas, but not while the side of TOOBASED is around to try and push these tier 4s in. Murderer gonna try and force another team fight, but Monkeys is here with the lasso available. They go onto Alien. He's been bashed up again. He's gonna die, and now Murderer is surrounded, but they've called the GG. They have had enough. That'll be the first series of the NADPC lower division going to the way of TOOBASED.
Yeah, they played amazingly well here in their first series. An outstanding showing